This is one of the hardest spiral abyss we've seen yet. Massive HP bars, frustrating mechanics, and strict team building requirements, especially in the second half. I will start with what kind of teams you'll need for each half, and then later break it all down in detail for each chamber and enemies. First half is a straightforward DPS check, with no special elemental immunities. You can run any strong elemental team, but freeze comps are especially effective, as most enemies can be frozen, and there's also 75% cryo elemental skill buff to boost your damage even more. Second half, it's where things get tough. In Chamber 1, bringing a pyro unit is non-negotiable. Without it, clearing is nearly impossible. Chambers 2 and 3? You'll want Natlon characters or burning reaction teams. Burning is highly effective throughout this half, and there's a 75% Dendro skill buff to support it. So bring characters like Kinich Mavuka for strong Dendro-Pyro pairings. First half. Wave 1. Aramite Stone Enchanter who opens with a pet summon. While the pet is alive, the Aramite has massively boosted resistance. So, kill the pet first, that will stun him and decrease its resistance. And finish him quickly. Wave 2 has Frost and Wind operatives. They're aggressive and slightly tanky. Watch out for the AoE attacks, especially from the Wind variant. Each has minor resistance to their own element, so target wisely. Thankfully, they teleport to you and stay close, making them easy to hit with AoE attacks. Second half has Lava Dragon Statue. It starts in geohuman form, with whopping 150% resistance to all elements. Using full damage rotation against this phase is a waste of time, so just use as many pyro attacks as possible to build its Fury Bar to trigger a transformation to Molten Dragon form. In this form, all resistance drops to 45%, except for pyro. Now a second Fury Bar appears. Remember, hitting with cryo or hydro attacks decreases the fury significantly, so avoid using them. At full fury in this form, the boss becomes paralyzed, and all resistance drops to just 10%. That's your main window to deal maximum damage. Bonus tip: when you hit 50% and 100% fury in Molten Dragon form, it takes true HP damage equal to 15% of its current HP. So bring in good pyro and Dendro units for burning, as it fills the Fury Bar significantly faster, and then capitalize on that stun window. First half starts with 2 waves with 2 Fontaine mech enemies in each one. They're quite weak and close to each other, so try to clear them quickly. Then comes the Perpetual Mechanical Array. It's the usual PMA routine. Avoid getting staggered, kill the correct clone, and keep your rotations tight. It's not difficult, just time-consuming due to the multiple waves and the PMA shenanigans. Second half has 2 waves of Teneborus Mimesis enemies, each with a Void Ward mechanic that makes them temporarily invulnerable to damage. The first wave is the Anemo Hilichurl Rogue form. It has a Void Ward with 70 durability. It gets reduced by 1 per elemental attack, or 3 per Night Owl aligned attack. Once the Void Ward is broken, it becomes briefly stunned and vulnerable, giving you a limited window to burst it down. This cycle repeats, but with Void Ward durability reduced to half on the second activation. The second wave features the Ruin Guard variant, which follows the same pattern, but with a Void Ward durability of 105, making it even more time-consuming if your team isn't properly optimized. This half is easily one of the most annoying and time-draining in this cycle. To speed things up, bring Natlon units like Kinich, Ororon, or Chaska, or utilize burning reaction teams, which are highly effective at chipping down the Void Ward and enabling faster clears. The first half has 2 waves. It starts with a Ruin Greater, a straightforward opponent familiar to most players. This is just a DPS check. Up next is the Thundering Weob Manifestation, which has a special mechanic. It opens the fight by deploying an energy suppression arena and gains a non-elemental shield with 111.4% of the Weob's max HP. That must be destroyed to deal actual damage to Weob. While the arena is active, characters lose all energy and cannot generate any, so be sure to cast your crucial elemental bursts before the field is deployed. You can typically fit in 2 to 3 bursts if timed well. In return, characters deal increased damage in the arena, making it worthwhile to stay within the arena while breaking the shield. If the shield isn't broken before the arena expires, the remaining portion shield converts into an electro shield, which is significantly harder to remove. To avoid this, focus your damage during the arena phase and commit burst rotations strategically. Freeze teams are especially effective in this encounter, as you can chain freeze to lock the Weob out of its mechanics, and potentially defeat it before the arena is deployed at all, bypassing the entire shield phase. To wrap up Floor 12, we face the infamous teneborus papila Type 2, a returning boss with a familiar Void Ward mechanic, similar to the teneborus mimesis enemies in Chamber 2. This fight is a final DPS check. As the papila spawns, it immediately generates a Void Ward of 72 units. You'll need quick multiple elemental attacks, or ideally, Night Sal's blessing-aligned characters to reduce the Void Ward fully in its charging time of 13 seconds to be able to stun it, or else it will explode. Once the Void Ward is destroyed, the papila becomes fully vulnerable for around 30 seconds. Use this window to unleash your strongest abilities and deal as much damage as possible. If you fail to finish it off, it will regenerate the Void Ward, and the cycle repeats. Keep rotations tight, manage cooldowns efficiently, and you'll close out the floor cleanly. The first half is relatively straightforward, a pure DPS check where most well-built teams can succeed, especially freeze comps with the cryo skill bonus. But the second half demands more, with strict elemental requirements and bosses that practically require pyro units or burning reaction teams for a smooth clear. Team composition here plays a critical role. If this guide helped you out, consider liking the video and subscribing. These breakdowns take time and effort to put together, so your support genuinely means a lot, and helps me keep making more in-depth Abyss content for you. Thanks for watching, and best of luck in the Spiral Abyss.